In 2020, nearly 43% of Park City's housing stock were short-term rentals, such as Airbnb, Vrbo, and other sites similar to those. This semester, for my English class, I had to research this topic specifically, so it only makes sense I give a speech about it. I've spent hours researching this topic, creating projects related to this topic. I've basically spent all semester looking at statistics and the housing market, so I feel pretty qualified to be presenting this speech to you guys today. As us college students go from school and to eventually the workforce, we will eventually want to buy houses of our own. Though in today's market, that is extremely difficult. There's many contributing factors that go into that difficulty, such as inflation and how our wages don't keep up. It makes buying our first home a very daunting task. My objective with this speech is to go over some facts about this issue, what I'm doing to spread awareness, and some possible solutions to this problem, including my final project proposal that I've been working on for my English class. I'll go into that a little bit later, but I will be talking about some facts about this issue. I will how I came to be studying this in the first place, and I will go over my project with this subject that I believe has the potential to make change happen. The biggest blockade for us first-time home buyers is the very competitive market that we're currently in. As listings of short-term rentals increase, so do the prices of the surrounding homes in the community. But that's not the only thing that is being affected, if you haven't guessed it. If you haven't guessed it already, it's the average cost of rentals as well. So us college students, our rents are insane right now. So you might have experienced that firsthand. So to go away from that for just a second, as Martin Luther King said in one of the most famous speeches in this country's history, I have a dream. I too have a dream, the American dream, to buy a home, to eventually raise a family one day, and have a comfortable life. If you guys haven't heard Martin Luther King's greatest speech, it's called I Have a Dream. I highly recommend it. You give it a listen. It's highly inspiring, actually. And I believe there's a book out there as well. I haven't read it, so I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming it's something along those lines that the speech goes over, but maybe give that a read if you're interested. But in this current economy, the housing market, it's a very depressing reality. Just a quick look into how depressing this reality is. Deseret News published an article around June 2022 that gave a glaring reality here in Utah. As I stated at the beginning of this speech, nearly 43% of all the homes in in Park City are short-term rentals. An astonishing number. That number is huge. That's almost half of the homes in Park City. They're being used for rentals. And I bet my whole life savings, and coming up, I'll talk about that in a second. That's probably not much. That affects the housing market in a huge way. So now that we know about this problem, let's go over a couple possible solutions that I've come up with. Some possible causes to this problem. We'll get to the solutions in just a minute. My first thought of how this could be as bad as it is today is because of the lack of government intervention when it comes to short-term rentals. There's hardly any deterrence or government intervention when it comes to actually renting these homes out on these platforms. It's basically a free-for-all. If you've ever used Vrbo or Airbnb, you know this firsthand. There's houses everywhere. So another main cause, I believe, that could be affecting this issue is the ease of access for homeowners with multiple homes. They buy up all the homes in the area and in our communities and make a profit from that. In doing so, it makes the homes in our communities more scarce, in turn driving up the prices of the local homes and driving up the prices of local rental costs as well. So now that we know the problem and a few causes to that problem, there's many more causes to that problem. It's not as simple as just those two causes. There's many factors that goes into this, as I've learned throughout researching this topic. But those seem to be one of the biggest ones. So now that we know a few causes to this problem, let's go over my proposal that potentially can fix this issue. In another class of mine, I have a final project that we have been working towards this entire semester. Each of us got to choose a topic, and I declared to focus, or I decided to focus in on this here topic of the housing market. I've always wanted to buy a home, but as I've gotten older and as inflation rises, with wages not keeping up, and with most Americans having little to no savings, it is looking bleaker and bleaker. And when it comes to savings, I know that firsthand. If you can't tell, I'm wearing my work uniform. I work at a bank, Alta Bank, as you can see here. I had the hat, I had the whole getup. But I see how much people have, and some don't have more than I have in this here jar of mine. I don't know if you can see it, but whew, that's a workout. There's probably not more than like $50 in here, and there's some people that have even less than that. So my main project focuses in on trying to repair this disaster that the housing market is currently in. I've come to the conclusion that we need to get our government to intervene. We are the government. We decide what's good for us. My main project is to hold monthly hearings to give the community here a place to voice their opinions and share their experiences. A place to harbor a community that can inflict change. And in doing so, and by giving this speech, I will hopefully raise awareness to those who may not yet understand what daunting circumstances they will find themselves in when they're starting to look for their first home. My final major project for my English class, which describes my own solution to this problem, and goes over a few other possibilities, but I'm just going to focus on this one today because I could be talking about this for like probably 30 more minutes, and you probably don't want to be listening. That's okay. But now, how does this fix the problem that we're currently facing? I believe it gives a platform for us as a community, as I've stated, a platform that we can use to voice our thoughts, our opinions, our experiences, and to spread awareness with this problem where we can voice our concern. It will also inspire those to get behind this here cause, to make change happen, to hopefully force change through government intervention. Along with the monthly hearings and for the community, I have also proposed that we, as a community, go into areas with heavy foot traffic, such as malls, religious sites if they allow it. That one's kind of more iffy. Or throughout schools, throughout the state. Throughout the country would be nice, but we're just going to focus on Utah for now. And hand out a pamphlet that I'm currently making for my English class proposal as well. I don't have that quite yet, I'm still working on it, but it's something we could potentially use. So now at this point, hopefully we can now clearly see that there's a problem with our housing market here in Utah. We know some causes that contribute to this problem, and I've gone over a couple possible solutions to this problem. Now that I've spread a bit of awareness here with this speech, I hope we can agree that we need to invoke change so that when we eventually enter the market ourselves, it won't be as daunting as it is right now. We together can make change. We just have to work together as a community. In my proposed project, I'd highly encourage everyone in my audience right now listening to join those monthly hearings. We don't have anything set in stone right now. It's kind of just a proposal right now. But if I go through with this, you'll see that on my social medias. But I won't link that because this is just a speech. So keep an eye out for that. I also encourage you all to learn about this topic yourselves. Just look up a few statistics to see how daunting of a reality we're currently facing. And then voice your opinion. Go to your local officials. tell them how you feel. Like, if once you do that, they'll either listen to you, or we can vote for somebody who will listen to you. And that's how we're gonna have to make change happen, I guess. So anyways, thank you all for listening in on my speech. I hope I resonated with you a little bit. Hopefully I taught you a little bit about this issue, and yeah, hope you have a good night. Thank you.